What's going on, guys? My name is Yellow S2K and welcome to some Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. I wanted to share with you guys a track that I built. Now I'm posting a video that's like an hour long of me building the tracks little by little. If you want to see that, I know not that many people are going to be into the long video, so I wanted to follow it up with something a little bit shorter. Now keep in mind, you can actually play this track yourself. If you go to single player, you can go to single event, time attack, whatever you want to do. And when you go to track selection, you can click on online tracks. Now, it might not be on this first page here, so navigate to the next page, and it is called Yellow S2K. Can't miss it. Now, you can all ride that track, and it's pretty cool. You can see it already has a bunch of downloads, which is sweet. It's pretty exciting. I just posted it, and a bunch of people are downloading it. Pretty exciting. So, try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you're able to. And I'm really curious, whoever can get the fastest lap time, I will have a prize for them. Might be a Steam gift card. I have a couple other fun things available to whoever can get the fastest lap time on this track and prove it to me. So that's that. Let me hop into the actual editor so you can see a little bit more what I was thinking when I built the track. And it's interesting, I think, to be able to see this perspective before we hop into the actual game, because there really is a lot that, like, it takes a lot to build a track. That's why my video of the actual build is an hour, and that's after cutting it down a little bit. I cut down all the load times. So it's basically down to like an hour and 10 minutes versus the hour 30 or something that it took me to make. So, and I just took my time and had a great time with it. It was really fun, and one thing I'll say is it's really rewarding and just a total blast to build these tracks. Now from the overview, you can kind of see a little bit what I wanted to do. I know it might be a little hard to see, but I wanted a long straightaway and like a long start. But then the big key things that I wanted to do, ideas that I had going into it, was a very long rhythm section. I wanted to have some really cool quads in there. And then I also wanted to have a long whoop section with a huge double in the middle. And I think I did really well with that. I think it came out. And again, I'm actually really happy with how this track came out, which is really fun. So I do have an over-under, you can see. I wanted to have some 45-degree corners so it's not just all 180s or 90s. And I think in the end it has some good variety, and it's just fun to ride, but it's also challenging. Like, it is not easy to put a good lap in on this track. So let's go to a closer view so you can see a little bit more of what I was thinking. Now keep in mind, the piece that's highlighted, that's blinking blue right now, look ahead of that, because whatever piece is blinking is basically going to be changing. So I don't know if that makes quite that much sense, but like the highlighted green right now, you can see it actually creates a flat piece. So look ahead of that. So after this first corner, I wanted to have, I played with things the whole time, no doubt. But I had things that I really, from real tracks and just fun things I've played in Sim and stuff like that. I wanted to make something that I actually liked. So I started first corner. It's nice to have a few little whoops there. And then from there, I was able to, let's try this view. So a few whoops, and then you have a kind of 3-5-3, almost a tire tap. You actually triple in, so triple there, and then a big Supercross triple here, which is pretty cool. Big Supercross triple again. I know it's a little tough to see, but it's just so much fun to make. It's kind of hard to share. But big Supercross triple, and then from there we had this big corner. Now this is the long rhythm section that I really wanted to get right. Now one thing you'll notice is this is kind of a goofy rhythm section, but it flows really well in game. Now it's a double in, then a triple, and then a huge quad here where I got the highlighted green. The landing's right in front of it. And then you have a quad onto a table on, and then you have a dragon's back. You triple off the dragon's back, and then you triple or quad out. Again, I know it's hard to see, but that was the gist of that rhythm section, and you'll see it in the actual game. Then you turn around, and this is that long whoop section. So whoop, 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 whoop. A huge double. Now it's even bigger than it looks in this. I mean, compare it to the quad next to it in the other lane. It's like, it's a big double. So that's really fun. Huge, huge. And then another long whoop section. And these are big whoops, so you actually skip through them a lot. Now this section here It's actually a corner and then a jump corner. So if you look a little closer, there you go. You can see ahead of us, you turn, you hit that bank, but then you actually jump off of that. It's a corner on, or a jump on a corner, and you double in, and then there's a couple whoops after it, which is pretty cool. And then you go into a big Supercross triple. So at the big Supercross triple, you land that, and if you look ahead of this triple, there's another quad. So it's land a Supercross triple, huck this quad in front of the green, dragon's back. Now you actually jump over this dragon's back. So dragon's back again ahead of us. Dragon's back to a table. Now you jump over the table there. And then you actually have to scrub this. It's actually kind of a quad. Actually, it's more of a big, kind of rolling triple, if that makes any sense. You can see a better view there. So yeah, just a rolled triple, basically. A jump into a table, essentially. Now you turn, and there's a small little whoop section, and these little sections can be a little bit more challenging, and it worked really well. It was fun to make because it's something simple, but these whoop sections into a turn, and that's what that whole next section is, and it's challenging, no doubt. So you can see this is our over-under section. So I wanted to do an over-under, but I wanted to make something a little bit bigger, not just do the table that's the over-under. So you actually huck it all the way to the end here, right in front of the green. So it's a pretty big huck. Again, it's hard to tell in this view, but it's pretty big. It's pretty sick, and it turned out really well. And then you can see this whole little section in front of us here. Left turn, whoops, left, whoops, left, whoops, whoops. And it really is challenging because you have to hit those whoops straight. And if you don't hit them straight, you can really get yourself into a pickle pretty quickly. So after you get through that difficult section, this is a really fun spot. Something I didn't plan on doing, but it turned out really well. Now turn, big Supercross triple in front of us. You land, and it's a 45-degree corner into another Supercross triple. And it just worked really well. So you land that triple, turn, and I just made a little kind of poppy triple there. And then take a look at this. It's just a big double in front of us with kind of some whoops in between it, and it actually is a pretty decent sized double there. Pretty fun, and you can obviously slow up, but you gotta huck that thing. And then a big finish line. Look how big that sucker is. So anyway, that gives you an idea of what it took to actually build it without showing you an hour-long freaking video, right? So let's back out of here, and I'll show you guys what the track is actually like to ride in game. I'll do a handful of laps because, again, it is actually pretty challenging. It takes a good bit of flow, and I think it just turned out perfect because it actually is a challenge to get some of these doubles, and if you don't get one part of the rhythm correct, you're screwed for the whole thing, which kind of sucks, but it's also pretty cool. So we'll hop into Time Attack 450. Let's ride as a normal rider. Let's go Jason Anderson. Maybe? Yeah, since he's winning a whole bunch in Supercross right now. Now again, if you want to ride this track, just pull it up and then you can go to online tracks. Take a little bit to load here. Whoops. Track selection. Online tracks. Again, not on the first page. And there we are. So let's hop in as a pro rider on a 450 and check out this track. I'm just super pumped about it, man. It was tons of fun to build. I honestly didn't think the track editor was going to be as fun as it is. There's really a lot of variety, and you can make something that's pretty sick and works really well with the game. I thought it was going to be a little gimmicky, to be dead honest with you. But now that I've spent literally an hour and a half on one track, I am totally on board. Now, there it is in the actual game view. Looks like a pretty sick track, right? Look at that long rhythm section in the middle, right next to the long whoop section. Huge double in the middle. The over-under section, that looks like a really challenging part through there, all those corners and 45s. Overall, I think it turned out pretty sick. So much fun to make these. I'm curious to see what you guys make, and I'm also curious to see what time you guys are able to put down on this track. Now, I haven't sat down to try to do a hot lap on this track yet, but I'm sure that will come. Maybe that'll be a separate video. So anyway, there's that triple in. Big Supercross triple. This is cool. You actually jump those whoops into the corner. First gear here, double in, triple, make sure you land that nice and smooth, huck a quad onto a table, onto the next table, dragon's back, triple out, and then this is basically it's a triple, but you jump into the whoop, so you can almost call it a quad or even more. This is that long, oh man, long whoop section with a huge double in the middle. Now look how long these whoops are after, but it actually works pretty well because they're huge, so you skip into them at the beginning, but then you have to really slow up. Oh shit. You have to slow up for this section. You can see it can go south pretty quickly. Now the problem with that turn double is you gotta get enough speed for that triple. Now again, quad after it, jump onto the table over, that works beautifully. You have to slow up for that there. Pretty cool to have to slow up and throw a scrub. Gotta have those in a Supercross track, right? Now this is that bigger huck. Actually over jumped it, but it's hard to get that just perfect. But it flows really well when you do. Now again, see how this section is pretty difficult? And it's all because of those whoops in the corners. It's like that combination can really get you into trouble pretty quick. Supercross triple into another Supercross triple. I think that section worked really well as well. Triple here, kind of a poppy triple. And then we're over to that big double with the whoops in the middle. Now again, keep in mind, it's like if you're really going to put in a fast lap, I think you have to avoid over jumping things and being sloppy, and I think this track is honestly difficult. It's not easy. This next rhythm is the most challenging right here. You'll notice I'm in first gear, so I clear this double smoothly, and then a triple. Gotta get the downside so you huck this quad. Now again, you follow it up with a quad onto a table. Oh, screwed that up, but hopefully since it's that section we can get away with it. A couple different options there. I've actually hit that a couple times when you screw up, so it's nice to have a plan B. Now again, I'm sure you can make or break your lap in these whoops because they're a little sketchy. Actually had to land off the power because we were getting into a sketchy spot, but look, if you don't carry your momentum into them, you're really in deep shit. Now that's a different line to be able to actually jump that corner. Pretty sweet to be able to have that in there. I'm glad they added that. Quad there. Actually jumped the table that time. Now remember, slow up for this. This is that over-under huck here. There we go, not too bad. Let's go outside, try to carry the speed. Let's carry all of the outsides. Oh, man. Surprised we got on track there. But you can see that the track has just enough difficulty that I think it's definitely a challenge. It's something that, it's not just this easy track that really you don't have to think about. There's a few spots where you have to either be precise or you have to be a little bit careful and dial it back a little bit because it's hard to just charge the whole time. So it's just really cool. I was worried these tracks would just be a little, once again, gimmicky and not really have anything special to offer, and it would just kind of fade away. But no, I'm pretty convinced after making this that these tracks can be really good. I'm not saying this is like an amazing track, but I'm just saying it was really rewarding to make. So I think you guys are really going to have fun making tracks, and I'm curious to see how fast of a lap time you guys can put on this track. I feel like it's actually complex, you know. Most games where you can make your own tracks, like I think it was like MTX Auto Tracks. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but an old motocross game where you can make your own tracks. It was kind of cool to have that feature. Ooh, I hit that triple in third. But it was cool to have that feature, but it never really was something that a lot of people cared about. It was like the stock tracks were just better. Now in this, I could see you making a track that maybe outshines the stock tracks, which is pretty sick. Again, nice quad there. Really lost our momentum going into this section, but I love these quads. Yeah, definitely gotta slow up for that one. Yeah, you can get away with hucking it, but it's more fun to try to downside everything. Oh, we had to try a scrub there. Again, look how tough this section is. I'm not doing it much justice. I need to really put quite a few laps down on this to try to get a hot lap, but I think you guys get the idea. Oh, case. Okay, let's try one more lap here to try to get something a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. I'm just happy that it's not just a piece of cake to ride the track that I made. You know what I mean? I expected it to just be a walk in the park on these custom-made tracks, but it's really not that way. Gotta get that double. Easy to overjump that, and then it screws up the entire rhythm. Gotta huck the quad. Follow up with another quad. Easy to overjump that table. Fun to get this triple out, and then you can actually scrub that. Pretty sweet, right? A lot of options through there. But there's always the big line, right? Fourth gear through here. Huck the double. I'm glad these are actually long because you have to slow up for it. Big Supercross triple. We'll click fourth this time. Let's huck it all the way. Big quad. Jump over the table. Slow up a little bit there. Actually got the downside pretty clean. The over-under section. Nice. Now this is what's going to make or break a lap. Pretty clean through there. This will be a decent lap. I don't think it'll be a hot lap, but a decent baseline, I think. Now, honestly, if I'm doing a hot lap, I'll probably huck this. Who knows? We'll see. And there it is. So, anyway, 144, not too bad, but that's pretty cool, right? It's a longer Supercross track. You made it. I think there's some difficulty. You have to get the timing right or you blow the rhythms, and there's some unique obstacles. I really dig this track. Again, send me proof of your fastest lap, and there's plenty of prizes. I got quite a few things. It might even be a Steam gift card. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this track. And I don't know, is there anything you would change? Anything you'd do different? Any recommendations? Do you like seeing me build tracks? And keep an eye out for the hour-long me building this track little by little for those of you guys that care. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.